If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Tigers finished the season on a positive note. We're breaking it down on the Hannycast.
The Hannycast, a weekly LSU football film study with Charles Hannigriff and former LSU tight end Richard Dickson. Now to break down the Tiger tape, here's Charles and Richard.
Welcome into our final edition of the Hannycast for the regular season. We're continuing the podcast. This will be our final game film of the regular season. I'm Charles Hannigriff with Richard Dickson, and we're talking about LSU's victory over Oklahoma. Soonest first ever trip to Tiger Stadium. Richard, we wondered a couple of weeks ago what kind of note the LSU Tigers would finish the season on after the disappointing loss at Florida. Thought they responded well against Vanderbilt. And again here tonight in this game, they got off to a good start. Nervous moments when Garrett Nussmeier went out of the game, but he came back in to finish the first half strong. The defense pitched a shutout in the second half.
No doubt. I mean, this is the most complete game we've seen in 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, it was a team that really executed. They were flying around, playing hard. They answered all the questions that anybody had to say, how's this team going to finish? Well, if they finish this way, this is the best the defense played all year long.
We talk about the consistency in college football or the lack thereof. This was an Oklahoma team a week ago that dominated an Alabama team that had dominated LSU 2 weeks before that. And now here, LSU 2 weeks ago against Florida, not a strong effort on the road, and yet here against Oklahoma, they have a great game. If you could just keep it together, but it's not just an LSU thing; it's a college football thing.
I was about to say it's week to week in college football. I mean, you look at this defensive performance. The defense only gave up 10 points, 277 total yards. I thought this was our best defensive game of the year.
Well, let's start out there. This is a play we're going to look at early in the first quarter. 2nd down and 10 for Oklahoma from their own 12-yard line. And this is great communication by LSU and a nice play by Braden Swinson.
Yeah, you've seen it the past couple weeks. Everybody's communicating. Everybody's pointing. I really like this 4-3 defense that we're getting into. And what really stood out to me is the physicality of the defense on this. Zay Alexander comes up and delivers the blow. He cuts off the cornerback. You got Swinson cutting off the edge and allows the linebackers just to flow and make a play.
Oklahoma with the quick pitch there. Alexander comes up.
The physicality of Alexander, that's a huge play. You don't see a lot of cornerbacks come in there like that, and you'll see it from this view. I mean, he really makes the play. He comes up and delivers a big blow.
Let me talk about the communication here as they reset the formation here. Richard, what are they? You see Penn here is pointing to the left. You see Alexander's pointing, Swinson's pointing.
And you see Weeks look back at Gilbert. Everybody's talking. Everybody's in communication. They're working together. And this is sometimes where you've seen people putting their hands up, not knowing what was going on. Everybody makes a few glances, a few hand points, and they get on the same page.
I'm going to watch it here.
Watch Zay right here. This is a big play. He comes up and sets the edge right there. Weeks is setting the edge on the pull block. And it really allows Penn to flow and make an easy play.
LSU bottles them up there. I'm going to switch over to the offensive side. Garrett Nussmeier. This is a complete pass to Kyron Lacey. This goes for 18 yards. Oh, they catch Oklahoma. We talk about miscommunications. They caught Oklahoma in a miscommunication here.
If you watch this, Oklahoma's really confused on this. They get confused on coverage. It almost looks like from this angle, they thought that Josh Williams was on a slant. You watch the safeties fly up. That allows two guys really open. I mean, I'm a tight end guy. Mason Taylor was wide open for a touchdown right here. I'd like to see him get the ball, but, it was just a great executed play.
All right, so what's Oklahoma reacting to here?
So when they go wide, everybody shifts back over. They're trying to communicate who's got who, and you're going to see it great from the wide view. But there's definitely miscommunication on Mason Taylor. They have some type of man coverage. Both guys flow to the center of the field, trying to cut off the slants, and they leave guys wide open.
All right, I'm going to pause it after the motion It takes Lacey over to the right side of the formation.
So right now, they don't know. You would think it's man, but when he runs a slant and Lacey runs the whip, both of them crash down towards the middle of the field. At least Mason Taylor open on the outside. He bails, and then nobody covers Lacey when he whips back out.
This was an Oklahoma defense that didn't allow a touchdown last week to Alabama. It's been 13 years since Alabama didn't score a touchdown.
It's almost like they both bit on the slant when he was whipping in, and then nobody trailed.
See?
Mason Taylor was wide open now.
Other team. Wait, hang on. Let me go back and just see how.
As a tight end, I want that ball right there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'm seeing him now in the middle of the field, which is it. Lacey's pretty open too, though.
Yeah, he's wide open, but, tight ends need love.
You'll never stop playing the position, my friend. We're brought to you by Marucci Sports, founded and operated by current and former big leaguers. And don't forget to check out the Hitter's House, 5801 Segan Lane, and now the new location just opened up earlier this fall at 1801 Airline Drive in Metairie. Membership to the Hitter's House comes with 24/7 access to the members-only cages, bullpen cage reservation opportunities, rental store discounts at 15%, and all of the Marucci aluminum and composite bats are available there. Plus, the new additions to their retail line, including shoes, are available now. Go to MarucciSports.com for more information. All right, let's move ahead here. This is a play. This is a third down where LSU is back at their own 19-yard line. Nussmeier is sacked on this play, and the fumble is recovered by Mason Thomas, and this is the scoop and score that got Oklahoma even.
Yeah, and it's just something that, starting with Alabama, where we've been weak up the middle is between Chester and Mubenga. And a lot of guys are overloading that in pass situations. If you watch this, they're going to slant over. They're going to have three guys rushing that gap, knowing that they can get home right there. And Chester just gets beat right here.
Right up the middle, and yep.
And he's just got that's better ball security. That's something that Nuss has to work on when he's getting pressure to get the second hand on the ball, and just protect it a little bit better in scramble situations. Okay,
I'm going to ask when they move over here. Right here. All right. Now whatever they had called before, are they changing blocking scheme here, or is this everybody still got the same guy?
Well, you're looking at it right now, and you see Campbell trying to communicate right here. He's looking down. They're going to fan out. Campbell's on the rush in. You're going to have Mubenga on the tackle, and you're going to have Chester sliding over. But what they do is they're going to slide, and they're going to loop the D in. So you're going to have two guys ended up on the tackle, and then you put one-on-one with Chester.
All right, let's watch this. Guy almost jumps off sides there.
So he loops. You get two on there, and then Chester just doesn't get that inside hand.
Frazier actually picked up the loop.
Yeah, everybody else picked it up perfectly. It was well done. It was just that, the technique-wise, he gives up his inside shoulder or outside shoulder.
Watch it again from the wide view.
But I just thought it was really interesting. I put this play on here because you saw this last week against Vanderbilt. You saw a lot of it against Alabama. This is where they're trying to attack us in the pass rush.
Wouldn't you?
It worked against Alabama for sure.
There's a scoop, and there's a score.
I love Anderson laying at least the knockout blow, trying to make him pay for the touchdown.
Can I tell you, I like him.
Oh, he's awesome.
I like him. He's had a terrific year. All right, this next play, this is a sack by our Mason Thomas. And this is something that you may have seen twice in 3 years. Will Campbell just gets beat here.
No, he just gets beat, and you're going to really see it from the tight view. This is an unbelievable rush. He gets a great speed rush.
The kid's a terrific player.
He chops his hands. He gets low. He rips through. I mean, this is picture perfect. This is what you teach in a defensive rush pass clinic. He chops his hands down, gets low, and rips. I mean, that's just Campbell doesn't get beat like that usually, but this was a great execution.
He's given up, I believe, 2 sacks in 3 years prior to this, and none of the ones I remember were not.
Watch 32's hands right here. He does a little chop and rip. You can't do that any better as a defensive lineman.
Yeah. Sometimes the other guys make a play.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll take Will Campbell take Will Campbell against any rusher in college football, but here, he just got beat. It's about all you can say to that. Not a whole lot else that you can do about this. All right, this next play we're going to look at, this is Jackson Arnold. This pass is going to be complete, but it's going to be for a loss of 1 yard. And this is Braden Swinson again blowing up another play.
This is just, Swinson reading and being a veteran player and understanding what's going on. He reads what the quarterback's doing. He doesn't overreact, and he blows up the guy on the inside pitch.
All right, let's watch him. He's on the far side.
And they get creative with motioning the back out. They motion him back over. It's, a lot of misdirection. But Swinson, he just reads this perfectly. And let me tell you, he lays the wood on this play too.
Wow. Arnold never looked like he was any threat to run here. This was called all the way.
A pass outside. You saw it with Aaron Hernandez when they would look outside the pass and flip it into the tight end. They do it with the running back here, but Swinson just reads it perfectly and delivers a blow.
By the way, I don't know if it's official yet, but the football scoop guys have the offensive coordinator at Washington State moving to Oklahoma. Now, as they've been, they fired their offensive coordinator earlier in the year, and now who is 29 years old, by the way.
Yeah, it hurts me because the guy that was the interim was Joe John Finley, a buddy of mine. He played with me in Detroit. He's he's been with A&M, been with Ole Miss. I was glad to see him get the opportunity.
All right, let's watch this one more time.
Just watch the hit. Swinson delivers a knockout blow here. He reads it, reacts, and then gets his pad level down.
Pow. All right. We're brought to you by Dependable Storage, 8 locations across Louisiana, 1 in Gulfport, Mississippi, the newest facilities in Slidell and Youngsville. They'll match any competitor's pricing, offer convenient online rentals and payments, and offer free use of their moving truck for new rental move-ins. Clean, secure, conveniently located facilities. Check out the website at dependablestorage.com for locations, pricing, and rentals. Like Skip Bertman always said, Dependable Storage wants your stuff. This next play is a play that's run with Garrett Nussmeier out of the game and A.J. Swan in the game, but it still resulted in a big run for Caden Durham. And Mason Taylor makes a particularly nice block on this play.
Yeah, he just reads it really well. I get what Emory Jones is doing. They got what we call like a joker block. They're double teaming up. From the look, and you'll see it from the tight view, it looks like Jones really needs to get up on the linebacker, but he slow plays it. The linebacker's on the outside. Mason knocks him over and then gets off to the linebacker and really creates that seam. And it's also great patience by Durham.
Durham down inside the 15-yard line. We'll catch the tight view of this and see what you're talking about this. Call it a joker block?
Yeah, it was joker when it's into safety. I forget what we called it, into linebacker. But if you hit pause right here, the design is Emory Jones and Mason Taylor blocking the end to the linebacker. They're going, they're doubling from here to here. If he flies first, Jones gets up, he gets on the inside. If he plays outside, then Jones stays here and Taylor gets there. And I get what Jones is doing. The read is he's on the inside. He's thinking that's a block he has to get to. But the way the linebacker plays it, it really ends up swapping that he needs to be on the D end. And Mason Taylor does a great job throwing him over to allowing Jones to get him and seal him off. Rewind that back. That, to me, is my favorite block of the year by Mason Taylor because he knocks him over and still gets up to the linebacker because if he stays on that guy the way the angle Jones took, the linebacker makes an easy play. But by him knocking him over, getting up on the linebacker, and Emory Jones sealing him, it creates that hole. And it's just great patience. He slow plays it to where it allows the hole to develop.
We're going to have slow motion added next year. So we can watch this in slow motion. Big play by Caden Durham. Let's watch the wide view here.
It's just really good by Mason Taylor throwing him over there. He really saves Emory Jones on the play because Emory's thinking linebacker all the way right here.
Nice combo block. And
I think earlier in the year, Durham scores right there. You can really tell that later in the year, that injury he had to his foot with dislocated toes took more of a toll.
This next play we're going to watch, coming into this game, we'd watched Jalen Milroe and Marcel Reed really hurt LSU with the quarterback runs. Jackson Arnold against Alabama had 131 yards on the ground, was basically half of their rushing game in that one. So they were very concerned about Jackson Arnold's ability to run the ball coming into this game. For the most part, they held him in check. This was the one that he got away on.
This was his big run. I think he ended up with 75, 77 total or rushing yards. But this is the one that put him in the first scoring position. And look, it's a good play fake. Our linebackers completely bite. Everybody flies down. But Jordan can't get his feet still right there. He's got to come up and make a play. He settles his feet and allows the quarterback to get around him.
This was the play right after the 50-yard pass, if I'm to Hester.
So if you watch Weeks flies, Penn flies, Jones flies.
Let's watch this again from the backside. You can tell me where to stop here.
Right here. Look at where their heads. Head pointing that way, Weeks going that way, Jones going that way. Everybody bit on the play fake, which puts Devon Keys, you'll see it on the wide view. He plays it pretty well. I want to see him attack the blocker a little bit sooner instead of letting the blocker come to him. But this plays for Jordan Gilbert to make. He's got to be, he's the savior right here. He's the safety. He's got to come down there and make that play and not get flat-footed. You never like to see, and I'll give him a little bit of credit where he fights back and he almost knocks the ball out and causes a fumble.
All right, Keys is 42.
So I want to see Keys attack right here. But he's a young guy, he's a freshman. He's still trying to read it out. He waits on it.
Is he worried about contain here?
I think he's still trying to decipher the play to understand what's going on. And while he's sitting there, he doesn't attack the blocker. He's got to know that when two guys are pulling, blow it up. You got to blow it up, shorten the edge. But right there, he slow plays it, allows the guy to get to him, creates a bigger hole, which puts Gilbert in a tougher position because there's a wider hole to cover. But right there, I want to see him make a play. He settles his feet. He gets stopped, and then allows the quarterback to outrun him.
That carried down inside the LSU 5-yard line. With 25 years of experience, Lake Urgent Care is dedicated to providing quality care close to home, treating minor illnesses and injuries for ages 3 months and up at 17 convenient locations for Lake Urgent Care. Baton Rouge, Hammond, Livingston, and Ascension Parish. Plus, they offer occupational health and weight loss solutions. As a seamless extension of Our Lady of the Lake, patients can access care from anywhere with the MyChart patient portal. Our urgent care centers are open 7 days a week. Seems like a lot of these accidents happen during the holidays, too.
No doubt.
So simply walk in, check in online, or schedule a virtual care visit at lakeurgentcare.com. Next play is a special teams play. Okay, we put this one in on purpose.
First time we put one on purpose.
This is Aaron Anderson for 100 yards.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to wait till it gets to the next view to start commenting on it, but this was a great effort play. You see some freshmen on here. Spears makes a good block. Josh Williams makes a hell of a block getting downfield. Juwan Johnson makes a good block. Great execution. Aaron Anderson presses a hole. I mean, this is just awesome. And look, this is the third time in 40 years almost that we've had a kickoff return at home.
Yeah, the 100-yarders are, I think there's 4 in LSU history.
Yeah.
All right,
look,
so
you got Green. You got freshmen all over the field here, which is encouraging.
Go ahead. Let's point them out. Straight as Green right there.
Green here. I forget who 30 is. You got Spears playing up the front. You got Juwan Johnson. I mean, the guys getting involved in this. It's an effort play. I mean, this is special teams is all about effort and getting out there, and it's just great to see these young guys out there and really playing hard and fighting through the whole play. Spears picks up a clean block right there. You got 30 getting a block. You got Juwan Johnson and Josh Williams leading the way through the hole. It's a designed return left, and the way they finish down the field. I mean, it's all effort to go out there and watch 18 and 8. They're not giving up on the play. Josh makes the first block right there. That's a touchdown saving block. Juwan Johnson makes one, and you get a great play out of it.
This is a wide view. This is pretty much the same view that we got before. Let's get it a second time. Never gets old.
When you're asking about, the question was going into these final 2 games was how much effort are you going to get, how much your guys bought in. You see it on this. I mean, this is 100% effort by everybody on the field.
Freshmen making plays. They talked about the freshmen on defense. I think there were 7 that got extensive playing time the other night. We'll pick it up in a podcast next week when we start to talk about roster build and things like that. We won't have film next week of a game to review, but we're going to be talking about the season in review and what the roster looks like going forward. That'll be after signing day and also after the opening of the portal.
We had a lot of plays in this game, especially where our 2 D tackles were both true freshmen, and Bro and McKinley, and they were out there making plays.
Here's another one we've been waiting all year on. This is the long ball to Chris Hilton. 45 seconds ago in the second quarter, and Nussmeier had just come back in the game for this drive. we've been waiting on this, and this was Chris Hilton making the big play.
And it's good for Chris, a guy that's been out so long. This is what he is built for, is the deep ball. They don't give him any help over the top. No one expects us to hit the deep ball. We haven't been doing it all year long. And when you get to look and you really see it from the wide view, there's no respect for the deep ball here. He doesn't play him over the top. He's playing on the inside of him, and he gives Nussmeier the whole field. Nussmeier throws a great ball.
He did jump at the end, but mostly he ran through the route.
And the thing is, he really jumps to turn his shoulders. But if you see the way the ball's thrown over here to the outside, he kind of jumps to turn and catch the ball. It's not one of those times where he's jumping to go over somebody.
The only reason I mention that is because that was a deal back, earlier in the year where Kelly, the thing in Florida where he jumps and it completely,
There's bad jumps and there's little jumps. I would put that in the little jump category.
Well, it was a big play, and for Nussmeier to come back in the game, for Hilton to
that play right there alone gives you the confidence that Nussmeier can finish the game, because I'm thinking drop down, short passes. You don't want to put stress on it. He comes back and fires 145 yards down the field on his first play back, essentially. It makes you feel better about how the game's going.
I felt better about Hilton too after this, because this is a one-on-one matchup, and he's got to come. He's got to make a play on the ball.
Yeah.
And previously he'd had a problem with the missed time jumps, or they just did not have a good play on. Here you do.
It's a confidence builder. He does it twice in this game. You wish you'd had this earlier on in the year, but Chris Hilton's got a chance to come back. Nussmeier's got a chance to come back. This is something they can build on.
Okay, this next play. This is in the late in the third quarter. 2nd and 6 at the LSU 36-yard line, and this is the double pass that Oklahoma tried to run, and it ends up being intercepted by Sage Ryan.
This is a junior high football play. It's kind of funny going back and watch it. We watch the whole deep offensive line. They just fall to the ground. They do an up down. They stay down. They pause. Like, I've seen this play run in junior high and work. When you watch Swinson, it was not going to fool him.
All right. Can I go back, because I was watching the ball the entire time. I never saw all these guys fall down.
It's embarrassing, the timing of it. It's an up down. They all drop to the ground. They all stay there for a second, and they get up. Like, that's a junior high football
so his
play.
First play is to throw the ball back this direction, right?
They're going to fake a cut block, like a quick play to the outside. They're trying to cut him down, but they're not trying to get tangled up, because they got to get back up to do their block. So everybody drops to the ground. They pause. They're waiting for the timing of it. Like, you just don't see this in major college football.
I'm now
rewind it real quick. Watch Swinson. He's like, really? He sees them all drop. He just stops. He's like, oh no, that's not going to happen.
No. I never saw the line on the TV cut. I never saw the lineman drop to the ground. So
we had a play like that when I was in 7th grade.
Watch it from the wide angle. He would have been well advised to just eat the football and go down.
Yeah, he's trying to throw it out, and he just
there's no chance there.
Take the sack.
Well, you ever have a double pass to you? Because that's a tight end, by the way.
Yeah. He was a quarterback at Southeastern.
He was, yeah. And he was the leading receiver. You'd got a chance to throw the ball. It's really hard to tell those guys to get to throw one pass a year, maybe one pass in their career. Just go ahead and take the sack. You finally call my play. You finally call my play, man. I want to
show you maybe a quarterback at Southeastern.
I want a shot at this. We're brought to you by Bayou Apparel, helping local businesses communicate their message since 2009. As one of only a few local LSU official licensees, Bayou Apparel offers the highest quality products to showcase your brand, whether it's an established one or a new one. Bayou Apparel design experts can help you create eye-catching designs that fit your company's message. They do logos, event T-shirts, and promotional items for your business. Call 225-928-9090 or go to the website at bayouapparel.com. Next play is a pass from Garrett Nussmeier to Aaron Anderson. It sets up the next play that they have after that, and I'll let you kind of take it from here.
Yeah, you can kind of let this roll. I just wanted to show it because it sets up the next play we're going to show. This on the same drive. This is a screen pass where you're getting both Pimpton and Taylor looping out to get Anderson on a bubble. It's a play that, Pimpton and Taylor could have blocked better. This could have gone for a bigger play. They got to decipher these blocks right here. Once Pimpton realizes he's beaten, you'll see it better from the other view. He's got to come off on the inside backer, and it probably gets, 10, 12 yards. But this is just where, they're still learning and trying to feel each other out. Mason's going to loop around. once right here, Pimpton's got to understand that's Taylor's guy now. He's got to play off and come back and get one or two, the most dangerous guy. But they both get stuck on him, which allows, it's a 6-yard gain instead of a 10-yard gain. But what it really does is set up, we call a play 2 plays later out of a different formation. Same thing, a bubble screen to Anderson, but it's faked. And you see the linebackers flow, everybody comes down, and we make a big play.
That's what we're looking at here.
You go from a bunch to a wide view, and we're going to run essentially the same play. You got 2 outside blockers. C.J. Daniels going to run off the corner. Pimpton's going to come around, loop around like he's blocking the linebacker, trying to get Aaron Anderson the ball. But both the linebacker and the safety flow down. I just thought I wanted to put those 2 plays back to back because, that's good play calling. That's sequencing, understanding what's going on, saw what worked 2 plays before, and run it out of different formation.
And that's one of those guys that made the tackle on the previous play that's trailing the receiver here.
I mean, every look that they had seen, you're fresh on your mind 2 plays ago. It's a very similar bubble screen, and you get the float from the defense.
Nice sequencing.
It was good play calling on Joe Sloan. And you'll see it from this view. Watch how bad they bite on it. They saw this play 2 plays previous.
It's a nice throw by Nussmeier, too.
Yeah, and look, Pimpton's a big target. He really kind of took over.
Had a couple of catches in this game, yeah.
You see him in this game playing all the plays that Tre'Davious Green initially was involved in.
All right, that last setup. And we'll also tell you that we're brought to you by the law offices of O.C. Brown and our friend Dana Brown, law firm for a lifetime. They've carried on O.C. Brown's legacy for the last 30 years. If you've been in a car accident or you have other legal needs, the first consultation is always free. The law offices of O.C. Brown should be your first and only call. 343-1111, 225-343-1111, or on the web at ocbrown.com, OSSIE Brown.com. We've used Dane and his team of attorneys for a number of legal needs over the years. Don't hesitate to recommend them to a friend. And again, that first consultation is always free. Let me tell you what, you go down to consultation. When you're done with that, walk down to Town Square Pizza. It's about a block away. Get your square pizza made fresh from scratch here right in front of you. But if you're doing a lunchtime stop there from working downtown, you got a limited amount of time for lunch. They'll be able to get you in and get you out in a hurry. Big, generous portions at Town Square Pizza, so you'll probably be bringing home some leftovers. Town Square Pizza, downtown Baton Rouge. All right, this is the final play we're going to look at here. Jackson Arnold sacked back to the Oklahoma 28-yard line. Everything goes right on this play. Now, this is a 4th down and 6, okay, 4th and 7. But Swinson gets pressure. They've got great coverage. Weeks is closing in on him. This is kind of the finishing touch to the game.
This just really sums up the defense, the way they played this whole game, and everybody executed very well. Braden Swinson's made himself so much money this year. He's an elite pass rusher. He gets the pressure right here, forces him out the pocket, and just the closing speed by Weeks. He has a motor that is very similar to what we saw from Harold Perkins his freshman year. He just has that closing speed where he gets in on them.
And, this is a 4th down and 7, so Arnold wants to throw it up. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen here? And he can't even get the ball off.
He's trying to get rid of it. He gets the pressure and just the closing speed by Weeks. Jackson Arnold's a fast guy. He's a guy that can run.
131 yards against Alabama.
Yeah. And from the wide view, you'll just see that without the rush, without the closing, there's nowhere to go with the ball. Everybody handles their job. Everything's executed well. He's got nowhere to go.
That closes it out. LSU would get another field goal in this game and finish it out and beat Oklahoma to finish the season at 8-4. Richard, 8-4. Kelly said it after the game perfectly. Said, "Hey, look, this is not what we wanted, but there's a lot of stuff to build on. There's a lot of young players that got in this year. The next couple of weeks, really, we're taping this as the Monday night before signing date. So Wednesday's a huge day. And then the transfer portal opens up a week from today. And you're going to talk about roster building for next year. We know what happened with Bryce Underwood. We know that frees up some budget. Can't believe I'm using that word with college sports, but it's exactly what it is. So we're not going to shy away from that. The roster building. But a lot of what you have here is big building blocks. And he talked about potentially getting some players up front back that I think he used the word, maybe used the word unexpectedly, or whatever it is, there were a lot of ups and downs to this season.
I think it's just a team that, everybody had high expectations in the third year. Well, I think our expectations were a little bit overloaded on what the defense could do this year. The one thing they did is they improved every week. I felt like the defense got better. They improved in every category statistically from the year previous. He mentioned they had 21 true freshmen that traveled for this game. I don't know what the numbers are. When I played, it was 65 that went to the hotel, but 21, a 30-year roster is true freshmen that traveled for this game. You had 7 freshmen playing on that defense. To me, it just shows you these guys are coming. The defensive line is getting better. We got the coaches in place. Now it's about roster building and getting the right pieces in place, and the sky's the limit going forward.
When you say travel, I know what you mean, but just to clarify for people, you can't dress the entire roster for an SEC game, even if you're at home. Non-conference games you can, but not for conference games.
I'm talking about the guys that go to the hotel and film review
that are
Friday
eligible
night.
to play. In the game. I'll just give you one example, and next week is going to be our season in review. We're going to talk a lot about how the roster, how the team got from the game in Las Vegas to this game. Dominic McKinley, okay, didn't play against Vegas, or didn't play in the game in Vegas. Started working in a little bit of playing time, and then a little bit more playing time. In this game, 2 sacks as a defensive tackle. Okay, I can work with that, man. Guys that are getting better as they go, and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go through the whole roster and the whole thing next week. But that's what you want to see.
He's a true freshman that ended up second in the team in sacks. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, the way he came in.
He finished second on the team in
5
sacks?
sacks.
You got me. I didn't have that one. I didn't realize that. Nice catch. That's a good one. That'll be one of the things we'll be talking about next week on the Hannycast as we'll move into the off season here a little bit. Bowl game's still to come, and we'll do film study for that too. We're Texas or Music City, maybe Texas with a slight edge at this point. We'll see. Be against a Big 12 school.
If I'm going to the game, I'd rather go to Music City. But, if I go to Houston, it's more of a work trip.
Yeah, so those games will be on December the 30th and December the 31st, respectively. So could be somewhere else, but those are the 2 leaders in the clubhouse right now. If I had to guess, Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, a lot of things could happen this weekend.
It's going to be in Houston. It's a big recruiting territory for us. I mean, I'm sure the coaches would prefer to go there.
All right. So next week, our season in review. For Richard Dickson, I'm Charles Hannigriff. This has been the Hannycast.